The laughter cut through the gentle murmur of the restaurant like a blade through silk. It was the kind of laugh that made heads turn, loud, arrogant, meant to be heard. The men behind it sat confidently in a charcoal suit, a glint of mockery in his eyes as he waved a few crisp bills in his hand. Across from him stood a young waitress, poised, silent, her expression unreadable. For a moment, the world around her seemed to fade. The clinking of silverware, the low chatter, even the soft hum of jazz that usually filled the air, all replaced by the thundering pulse in her chest. He had laughed at her accent. He had mocked her struggle to pronounce a single word correctly. And he had thrown down a cruel challenge that would change everything. "Serve me in English and I'll pay you $1,000. If you believe in kindness, humility, and second chances, then please take a second to like this video, subscribe to Kindness Corner, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that dignity is worth more than money." The young woman's name was Ariana Velasquez, a 23-year-old server who had been working double shifts for months to support her mother and younger brother back home in Guatemala. The restaurant, an elegant place called Maison de Lumiere, wasn't the kind of place she ever imagined herself working in. The guests wore tailored suits, silk dresses, and collar that whispered of wealth. Ariana, in her crisp white shirt and navy apron, felt invisible most days, except when someone wanted to make her feel small. But she bore it with quiet grace. Every tray she carried, every polite smile she offered was a silent step toward the dream she refused to let die, to become a language teacher and open a small school in her hometown. That afternoon, the restaurant gleamed with daylight. Laughter echoed, glasses clinked, and soft sunlight filtered through crystal chandeliers. Ariana approached the table where the older man sat. Mr. Collins, a wealthy real estate magnate known for his loud voice and sharper tongue. Seated beside him were two women, his younger girlfriend Veronica, in an emerald green dress, and another woman in a beige top, Elaine, who appeared to be his assistant. Both watched the scene unfold, their faces a mix of discomfort and curiosity. Ariana had just mispronounced a word while offering the menu in English, her voice hesitant. Mr. Collins seized the moment, smirking. "You work here and you don't even know proper English," he chuckled, waving the bills in his hand. "Tell you what, sweetheart. If you can serve me in English properly, I'll give you $1,000. His words drew a few looks from other diners. Some shook their heads, others just stared, waiting to see what the young waitress would do. Ariana felt her cheeks burn for a heartbeat. She wanted to run, but her mother's tired face flashed in her mind. The woman who stayed up late sewing, the woman who always said, "Don't let pride make you small, mija. Let strength make you stand tall." So Ariana stood a little straighter. She smiled faintly and began to speak softly, carefully, as if every syllable was a step forward through a storm. At first, her English was halting. Her accent was thick. Mr. Collins smirked wider, clearly amused. But then something changed. Ariana paused, set down her tray, and said calmly in flawless French, "Sauvez-vous continue Francier?" The laughter at the table faltered. Before anyone could respond, she switched effortlessly to Italian, her tone smooth and melodic. Then German, then Mandarin, then Arabic. Each language flowed from her lips with grace and precision, her eyes steady, her voice unwavering. The restaurant had gone silent. Even the nearby tables turned their heads. Mr. Collins, who moments ago had been laughing, now sat frozen, his mouth slightly open. His red tie suddenly seemed too tight. The two women beside him looked stunned. Veronica's hand had stopped midair, her wine glass trembling slightly. Ariana took a quiet breath and returned to English, her tone polite but firm. "Would you prefer I continue in English, sir?" she asked. Her voice held no anger, no bitterness, only quiet dignity. "The bill's in Mr. Collins's hand slowly lowered to the table. His smirk was gone. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he exhaled softly and looked at her with something unexpected. Shame. After she walked away, the table remained silent. Mr. Collins leaned back, eyes downcast. For a man who measured everything by wealth and success, he had just been reminded that the true worth of a person could never be counted in dollars. Later that day, as Ariana cleared another table, the restaurant manager approached her. He looked nervous but proud. "Mr. Collins asked me to give you this," he said, handing her an envelope. Inside was a check, not for $1,000, but for $10,000. Along with it, a handwritten note for your courage, your intelligence, and the lesson I needed to learn today. Forgive my ignorance. Richard Collins. Ariana's eyes blurred. Her hands trembled slightly as she held the paper. But the money wasn't what made her heart ache. It was the apology. For the first time in a long time, she felt seen. Truly seen. That night, as she walked home through the quiet streets, the city lights shimmered softly against the pavement. She thought about her mother, her brother, and the little dream of a school she carried in her heart. Maybe it wasn't so far away anymore. She had always believed that kindness could bloom even in the coldest places. And today, she had seen it happen. Weeks passed. The story spread online after a customer posted a video of the encounter. People around the world shared it, praising the young waitress who humbled a millionaire without ever raising her voice. But Ariana stayed the same. Humble, hardworking, grateful. She still served coffee with a smile. Still saved every dollar she could. Still dreamed of home. But now she carried something stronger than hope. She carried proof that dignity and grace were worth more than gold. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that respect and kindness cost nothing but can change everything, please like this video, subscribe to Kindness Corner, and share it with someone who believes in humility and heart. And before we end, tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were in Ariana's place? Would you have walked away or stood your ground with courage and grace? Ariana's story is a reminder that sometimes the quietest voices teach the loudest lessons. In a world that often values power over compassion, she showed that true strength speaks softly in any language.